Hi there, 79 Herstol's guy here once again, and I'm showing you today the Webley Hurricane air pistol. And the Hurricane is a spring-operated single-shot break action pistol, and it's fitted with a rifled barrel. This one is 177 caliber, but they also came in 22 caliber, and you can use darts in them, but they advise that if you did, some deterioration of the rifling will occur on the barrel. So I've used this one with pellets, but no darts at any time. They came with an adjustable trigger and a manual safety catch, and then a micro click adjustable rear sight and with vertical and horizontal adjustments, and I'll show you those in just a moment. This particular gun is an earlier version. From what I found online, there was, quote, two variants, one from 1975 to 90, and then 91 to 2005. And these were made from 1975 to 2005. I found, I'll say, variants within the first, quote, variant time frame, and the very first guns that were made that I've seen actually came with, this one has a serial number, but they came with no serial number and then no markings whatsoever. It was in this same box, but, well, not Webley, Beeman, who imported the guns, actually had a little paper tag that was that came with that particular gun that I saw, and it said that there was no serial numbers on the gun, and essentially it wasn't something that they were expecting. They were expecting serial numbers, and eventually, obviously, they had them manufactured with serial numbers to be applied. So, not sure how long the no serial numbers and no markings for Beeman Precision as the importer lasted. Might have only been a year or two. What I have seen with these so far is that the progression was no serial number, which is here. This one's 000490, and then has the Hurricane, obviously, there on the front. And then on the back side is where it has the Beeman Precision Airguns Incorporated, 47 Paul Drive, San Rafael, California. So the progression that I've found has been none of this imprinting, which is actually embossed into the metal, no serial number, and then it went to actually having Beeman's Precision Airguns embossed into the metal, still no serial number, and then it went to the serial number, which is what the gun I have here today. So it has the serial number and the embossing. And then as time progressed, I found some guns that have higher serial numbers, and the embossing into the metal goes away, and now it's essentially printed into this front plastic case and cover with Beeman Precision and such. So there's variants within, I'll say, the variants. This particular one came with a whole bunch of documentation and various cards you can see before you. What you don't see right here, and I'll show you here, is this one was actually packed on September 10th, 1980. So if that helps any of you out there date this particular type serial number starting, it looks like it would have been in 1980. So prior to that, those other prior descriptions I showed you would be in play. This one, well, let's see here, is going to Raleigh, North Carolina, and it looks like the invoice total at the time was $74.96 in all the approvals. This, as I said, it came with all the documentation you can see here. There's the Beeman lifetime repair policy, which was not sent in. It was like send in for $1, and your warranty card, service record. Beeman air guns Raphael, etc. This one actually has the statement of non-liability is also down at the bottom, effective March 1980. So it coincides with the 1980 packing in September of 1980 as well. So just a quick little history on Beeman. They started in the early 70s, and the very first addresses were in, hopefully I don't say it incorrectly here, it's San Anselmo, I believe, Anselmo, California. And then the second address, which is really, if you're a collector, is what is considered, or generally considered, the early address, which was the 47 San Rafael, California address. And they were in the San Rafael address roughly from 74-ish to around 1987. And then after that time frame, you'll see Santa Rosa as an address. So that's roughly 87 to 1994. And then after that, it was actually Huntington Beach from 1994 to 2009. And today, Beeman is actually in Santa Fe Springs, California. So dating the pistol, if you have something that has the different markings or different addresses, you can kind of get an idea of at least a general year. One thing I did notice on the bottom of this is it says Webley and Scott Ltd, Birmingham, England. I found or saw a pistol, I should say, that had that Beeman precision air guns in the stenciling here above the Hurricane. And what I noticed when I looked at the picture of it, it actually said made in England. So the Birmingham, England, and made in England and those kind of markings changed on the pistol as well. There's the easy windage and height distance knobs. These are quite easy to use, and I've spun the knobs, and they are micro. They don't move them, the sight, for example, very far in each notch. You really have to move it quite a bit to get it to move back and forth along the rail there. To cock this, spring-loaded, release the lever / safety, and then you pull the barrel up, and it's actually quite difficult or hard, and which is probably a good thing, means the seals and stuff are still good, to actually get it cocked. There's no levers or levels. There's only one all the way and then back down. I don't push this down in forcing this. I'll back the safety lever up and then allow it to go down to be put back into place. Now you can put the safety on. I noticed that when it's not pumped or cocked, this will not, at least my gun anyway, won't go back up into an off position, and there's nothing in the gun. Show you there that, so there's, like, you won't hear, oh, rats, but oops, you can hear it go there. So now it's discharged, and it won't go back up into the, or onto the safety there. It's just there in that position. As I said, there was a lot of documentation that came with this, use and care, maintenance of the pistol. This is kind of very similar. Hurricane and Tempest Air Pistols Owner's Manual. The Tempest is another, obviously, pistol line, and it's very similar to the Hurricane, but it's a little bit smaller, and you can look up the information if you're interested on it. It doesn't have the same sights, and I'll say this one's the more deluxe version, if you will. This came with a wholesale order form, never used, and then there was 2 technical bulletins that had been put out, and both of those were in this as well. This back piece here, which has never been on, actually you can apparently remove the rear sight. this attaches, and then you can affix a scope onto the back of this pistol with this particular mounting point. There's a clip-on kind of rail system here. This back here, if you can't see it already, is just the inspection form that came with the gun. Has the serial number and catalog number, and apparently they made sure everything was working on it. And then, of course, the Webley Hurricane information there on the back of the box. This is a replacement case or box of pellets. I've seen another gun that has a case that fits this circle in the box there pretty much tightly, and it has a much different, it says Webley on it, but I don't know if that if Beeman has something different specific for their early guns when they were ordering it. But anyway, so just wanted to present this Hurricane to you. It's a very well built, pretty much all metal except for the plastic grips here. And this is a paint, and again, this is a plastic cover on the front here that it just, I would say, is more kind of a design application to kind of cover this step down. There's for the pumping mechanism that's in there. It just kind of smooths out the gun. But very nice, well-kept pistol here. It's not been used much, if at all. Sure do appreciate you, as always, checking in and watching the video. It's, as I said, it's much appreciated. And have a great one.